These are the video notes for surface area. Surface area is all of the space around the outside of a figure. So we can write that in. Whereas volume is like the 3D space inside the figure, surface area is like how much wrapping paper you would need to put and cover all of the outside of the shape. Looking at the first example on the left, we have a rectangular prism. If you want to find the lateral surface area, you're finding the four sides around it, but not the bottom or the top bases. So the base is this bottom rectangle here and this top rectangle here. So we're finding the four sides, not including those two bases. Our formula for a prism for lateral surface area, it's going to be perimeter times height. The perimeter is the distance around the base. So you add up all four sides of the base. One side of the rectangle is 9, so that means the other side is also 9. One side is 10, so the opposite side is also 10. And we're going to add up all four of those sides. So my perimeter is 10 plus 10 plus 9 plus 9. You can add all those together. 20, 29, 38. Then if I do, it would be 38 times, and the height is the distance from the bottom to the top of the prism, which is 11, so 38 times 11. And I'll calculate that out. And 418. And my units is meters. And since this is area, it's square meters or meters squared. For total surface area, the formula that I want is perimeter times height plus the area of the two bases. So TSA for total surface area is equal to perimeter times height plus the area of the two bases. Perimeter times height, that's what we already found with the lateral surface area. That was 418. Plus, and then let's look at the bases. Each base is a rectangle, so to find the area of one base, I have to do length times width of the rectangle. So 9 times 10. 9 times 10. That gets me 90. So the area of one base is 90 meters squared. And we have two bases, so I'm going to do 418 plus 2 times 90. Calculate this out. 418 plus 2 times 90. 598 meters squared is the total surface area. Let's look at the next shape. We have a triangular prism. And first, a couple things about the diagram. If I'm looking at this triangle here, each of these two sides, if you look carefully, they have this mark through it like that. That mark is showing me that those two sides are the same length. They're congruent. So looking at this triangle back here, I know that that's 7.2. So then I can conclude that this side of the triangle is 7.2 as well. And this other side on the left is also going to be 7.2. Now let's look at the formula. For lateral surface area, same formula. It's going to be perimeter times height. For the perimeter, I want to add up the sides of the base. And when you have a triangular prism, the base is always going to be the triangle side. This part that I'm coloring right now, that's one of the bases. The other base is the other triangle right here. So let's add up those three sides of the triangle. Two sides of 7.2 and one side of 8. So my perimeter is 7.2 plus 7.2 plus 8. $22.4 is my perimeter. Putting it in my lateral surface area formula, perimeter is 22.4, and then the height, looking back at the diagram, if the triangle side was on the ground, then this side right here that I'm coloring right now would be how tall the figure would be if the triangle's on the ground. So my height is 15. So let's do times 15 here. Calculate this out. 22.4 perimeter times a height of 15. 336 meters squared is my lateral surface area. Total surface area, it's the lateral surface area, so perimeter times height, but we're also going to add in the two bases. Perimeter times height, that's what we already calculated, that's 336. Now we need to calculate the area of each base. For the base, for a triangle, it's 1/2 times the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. In this case, the base of the triangle is 8. The height of the triangle is the distance from the bottom to the top of the triangle. And from this diagram, that's going to be 6. That's the information that's given to us. So base of the triangle is 8, height of the triangle is 6. Putting that together in our area formula for a triangle, it's going to be 1/2 times 8 times 6. Calculate that out. And it's 24. So now I know the area of each of these bases, each of these triangles, is 24 centimeters squared. Okay, let's bring that back to our total surface area formula. So we have perimeter times height plus two bases. So plus 2 times 24. Calculate this out. 336 plus 2 times 24. 384 meters squared. Before we do the cylinder, I'm going to erase some of the work to make more space. So make sure that you have written down everything for the triangular prism before you continue. Okay, now I'm just going to erase some work to make room. And the cylinder. For the lateral surface area, let's check the formula chart. We want cylinder, lateral surface area is right here. Okay, so I want 2 times pi times radius times height. Okay, so for my radius, let's look at the diagram. I know that the diameter is 12. That's the distance all the way across. For the radius, I only want half of that. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. So my radius is 6. Height is the distance from the bottom to the top. That's 9. So let's put this information in. So we're going to have 2 times pi is 3.14 times the radius, which is 6, times the height, which is 9. And what we're doing here is we're finding the circumference of the base and then multiplying that by the height. So calculator time, 2 times 3.14 times 6 times 9. This is 339.12 inches squared. For the total surface area, check the formulas. We want cylinder, total surface area, right here. So that's going to be 2 times pi times radius times height. That's the lateral surface area, plus the 2 bases. And that's going to be 2 times pi times radius squared. We already know the radius and the height, so let's just plug everything in. 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times radius, which is 6, times height, which is 9, plus 2 times pi, so 2 times 3.14, times radius, which is 6, and then squared. And you want to put this whole thing as one line into your calculator to make sure that you're using all the numbers correctly and you're less likely to make a mistake. So 2 times 3.14 times 6 times 9 plus 2 times 3.14 times 6 squared. Altogether, it's going to be 565.2 inches squared.